Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Player Prop Show for Monday, April 5th, 2021. We got a 7-game slate to talk about tonight in the NBA. Most of the games happening early, presumably because of the national championship. Gonzaga Baylor, one of the most anticipated national championships of all time. So I hope you guys get your fair share of the NBA in, your fair share of college basketball in tonight. Great sports night, great sports week coming up. We're going to break down the slate tonight. I'm going to give everyone 3 props that I liked tonight for tonight. Got a little bit of a makeshift setup up here, getting some work done in my house. So I wasn't able to, first of all, I returned home. I'm in a different location than I have been the last few weeks. Getting a little bit of construction done in my house. So they finished up late. So I had to delay it a few minutes. Apologize for that. Makeshift studio. But also, look, if you love the Masters, we'll be right here back at 6:30 doing a live Masters DFS breakdown. So if you love basketball, you love golf, stay on in the YouTube channel for a couple hours and, hang out with us. But that being said, let's get right to it here. But first, just wanted to mention Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight is a great place for player props, whether it be the NBA, whether it be college basketball, the national championship tonight, whether it be golf, the Masters coming up later this week. Look, for all the people who are watching in here, you love doing research on player props. You could take advantage of this in Monkey Knife Fight. You go into Monkey Knife Fight, put in the promo code DUDE50. You get an 100% deposit match up to $50. Promo code DUDE50. Once again, link in the description below for that. monkeyknifefight.com. Promo code DUDE50. Let's get right into it here. Talk about the first prop that we have tonight, and that is Jakob Poeltl. Over 24.5 points plus rebounds plus assists tonight in this game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look, Jakob Poeltl has been a guy who's been absolutely great recently. Over his last 5 games, he's playing 35.3 minutes per game. Again, inflated a little bit because of these 2 OT games he played the last couple, but still, 35.3 minutes per game is a lot, averaging 15.4 points per game, 11.4 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game. Again, look, I know that these minutes totals the last few games have been inflated, but I still expect them to be in that, low 30s in terms of minutes tonight against the Cavs. Over Poeltl's last 5 games, he's cleared this 24.5 points plus rebounds plus assist line in all 5 of those. Tonight he goes up against a Cavaliers team that's playing without Jarrett Allen. They rank 23rd in the NBA in opponent points in the paint per game, so good matchup for Poeltl as well. The Cavs also rank 15th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 44, so good matchup for him there as well. I like the matchup. I like what Poeltl's doing recently. And as a result, I like him to go over 24.5 points plus rebounds plus assists at minus 115 on FanDuel. Now let's look at our next prop that we are going to discuss today from this highly anticipated, high-scoring Kings Timberwolves game. A matchup of no defense whatsoever, no rebounding, no defense, nothing at all. 2 bad teams. Richaun Holmes, over 9.5 rebounds in this game against Minnesota. Holmes has had a phenomenal season this year compared to what expectations were. He's been even better recently. Over his last 15 games, he's been averaging 10.9 rebounds per game. Over those last 15 games, he's cleared 9.5 rebounds in 10 of those 15 games. He goes up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have been awful against bigs this year. Excuse me a second, but they rank 25th in the NBA, the Timberwolves, in opponent rebounds per game at 46.8. High over-under here in the game at 235. Lots of possessions, lots of rebound opportunities for Richaun Holmes. And look, you get this at minus 139 on DraftKings. If they did boost it up to 10.5, which I'm pretty sure they didn't, but they may do. Right now it's at 10.5 on FanDuel. I still think I would take it. I still think that there's some good value on FanDuel, plus 116 over 10.5. So whether you could get it at 9.5 or 10.5, I'm fine with it. But look, 9.5 I think is a lock tonight. 10.5 you still get some good value on. So I like Richaun Holmes over 9.5 rebounds in this game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the next prop that we're going to talk about, we got Karl Anthony Towns against the Sacramento Kings, over 12.5 rebounds in this game against the Kings. Once again, Towns has been on a rebounding tear lately. Over his last 6 games, he's averaging 15 rebounds per game. He's cleared this 12.5 rebounds number 5 of those 6 games. Additionally, the Kings, they aren't a great rebounding team. They rank 19th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 44.7. High over-under, once again, like Richaun Holmes, 235 in this game. Lots of rebounding opportunities. A lot of guys out for the Timberwolves as well. I like Towns to go over 12.5 rebounds at minus 144 on DraftKings. Probably the only place you could get it below minus 150 right now is on FanDuel. But if they boost it up to 13.5, it is honestly something I consider as well. But if you get that 12.5 number, that's really where I like this prop for Karl Anthony Towns. We got the ticker on the bottom. Those are my 3 props for tonight. If you coming in late, you're seeing these. You didn't hear all the explanations. Here are at least the props in the bottom. And yeah, let's get to questions like normal. First question here we got from Shadow Stefan. Yo, man, first here, beat Jokic. Yeah, Jokic, I don't know where Jokic is today. I'm sure he might hop in a little bit later. What do you think of Towns over 12.5 rebounds? As I just said, I liked it. It's one of my picks. Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points. Randall over 24.5 points. CP3 over 8.5 assists. I'm a fan of all these. I think Edwards, he's been playing phenomenal lately. Again, a lot of guys out. Malik Beasley, Ricky Rubio. Increased touches for Anthony Edwards, increased scoring opportunities. Julius Randle over 24.5 points, plays against the Brooklyn Nets. Thing with Randle is he's had 2 games against the Nets, and he's gone for 30 plus in both of them. Nets are not very good at guarding the paint or in terms of just defending points at all. So I do like Randle over 24.5 points. CP3 over 8.5 assists, plays up against the Houston Rockets, who are kind of average in that category. Houston Rockets rank 15th in the NBA in opponent assists per game at 24.5. CP3's also been on an assist tear lately, and he's been beating up on these mediocre to bad teams in terms of assists, so I do like that as well. From Eric here, McDaniels over 11.5 points or over 1.5 threes, both, or which would you prefer? Yeah, McDaniels, obviously we had his prop on Friday. That didn't work out very well for us. That being said, a lot of guys out here, so you got to expect that McDaniels is going to get a little bit of increased touches today. Just going to bring up his game logs quickly because, this is something that I did talk about on Friday. McDaniels has had an increased role on the Timberwolves lately, the 28th overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft. Let's just get this up. I was probably saying, was I saying Jalen McDaniels? It's Jaden McDaniels. I got confused because there's a Jalen McDaniels on the Hornets as well. But this is Jaden McDaniels. Okay. Anyway, last few games, 14, 7, 18, 13, 14, 14. So he's cleared this in 5 of his last 6 games. Of course, the one game that I put in my prop show, he didn't clear it. That's unfortunate, but he has cleared this 5 of his last 6 games. And look, again, increased opportunity tonight with a lot of guys out. I would probably prefer over points here, even though he is taking a lot of threes as well. I would prefer over points rather than threes. Master Yoda says, dropping a like for my guy always. Steady coming with these props. Appreciate it, Dylan. Yeah, thank you for watching every time, Master Yoda. And once again, just a reminder to everyone, if you're watching this video, if you're a fan, you're watching these videos consistently, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out. We got some questions here as well. Also from Master Yoda says he's liking Westbrook for this Wizards-Raptors game. Yeah, I think Westbrook is going to have an absolutely huge night tonight against the Raptors. Raptors, they let up a lot of rebounds and a lot of assists. That's Westbrook's bread and butter. As a result, unfortunately, his rebounds plus assist props at like 22.5, which is just too high for me to take, but I think Westbrook does have a big night tonight. Theo Maledon over 13.5 points. Yeah, Maledon's been playing well lately. Obviously, no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let me just get up. Goes up against the Pistons here tonight. So decent matchup for Maledon. Nothing great. Even though the Pistons are really bad, it's not particularly a great matchup for Maledon or for anyone. The Pistons don't let up a ton of points like you would probably think they do. Let's check Maledon here. Last few games. 7, 33, 11, 14, 22. He's been a little bit all over the place. I'm okay with it. I'm not huge on it, but I'm okay with it. Whiteside just announced as active. Is this impacting Holmes props? I mean, look, Holmes is still the starter, even with Whiteside there. Whiteside is he's honestly just not playing much of an impact for the Kings this year. Whiteside only averaging 14.9 minutes per game. So yeah, maybe he'll cut a little bit into Holmes, but I still do like Holmes over rebounds regardless. Maledon over 13.5. Again, like I said, I'm neutral on it. Not huge on it, but neutral. I'd be okay with it. Hope all's well with Jokic, dude. He's usually here. Yeah, hope to see him back on Wednesday for sure. Jakob Poeltl over 11.5 points. Look, I really like that as well. I decided to go with the points plus rebounds plus assists just because he's grabbing a ton of rebounds as well lately, getting 2-3 assists per game in the last few. So I said, you know what? If he goes for like 10 or 11 points, I'm going to kick myself for not doing over all 3 I just felt more comfortable with the over 24.5 points, rebounds, assists, but I do think he hits his over 11.5 points. As I mentioned, Cleveland Cavaliers let up a lot of points in the paint. They ranked 23rd in that category. Westbrook triple-double. Yeah, I like that a lot tonight. What are the odds on that? Let's go check DraftKings for this. Like I said, this is a great matchup for Westbrook in terms of getting a triple double. They don't have anything on DraftKings for it. I'm assuming they probably do on FanDuel. Let's check this. And remember, if you're watching this, be sure to throw any questions into the chat. Not a huge slate tonight. All these games are getting over with pretty early, but look, be sure to ask any and all questions as normal. Oh, we got Bradley Beal as a game time decision as well tonight as I get that alert. So, yeah, obviously, if regardless of whether he plays, I like Westbrook a lot tonight. He's minus 120. I think it's worth a play. Thoughts on Bullock over 9.5 points. Big game ahead battle in New York. I remember what happened the last time they played on March 15th. Yeah, Reggie Bullock, look, a guy who's tough to read. He is playing decently lately. Gonna always get a lot of minutes. You know, Tibbs has his guys. Reggie Bullock is one of those guys. And he's averaging 9.5 points per game on the season. So right on that number. Last few games, he's gone 22, 13, 10, 3, 10, 6. He is shooting a decent amount. He shoots a lot of threes as well. So you figure if this guy could get up, 10 shots and most of them are threes, then look, you probably like that. Your chances on that against a Nets team that lets up a lot of points. I'm okay with that for sure. Harden double-double. Look, Knicks are really good on defense, but Harden is one of those guys that's matchup proof, so I'm okay with that as well. Harden over 8.5 rebounds looks good. Yeah, again, Harden, this is against a bad team. You're expecting Harden to go for 35, 15, and 15. The Knicks really do lock up, though. But the last few games for Harden in terms of rebounding, missed the last two. But then before that, 8, 11, 14, 7, 5, 4. And then he has streaks where he just goes on double digits for 5 games straight. 10, 14, 10, 10, 10. That being said, I'm okay with it. Knicks are a very good rebounding team. Or I should say solid rebounding team. They rank 13th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 43.7. So I'm okay with it. I'm not huge on it, but I'm okay with it. De'Aaron Fox over 26.5. I like. Has a great matchup against Minnesota tonight. That was close to making my cut in terms of props tonight for me to talk about in the show. 28th in the NBA, the Timberwolves are in opponent points per game at 117. Chris Paul over 8.5 assists. I already said I do like that as well. Garland over 5.5 assists against the Spurs. Spurs rank at, let's get this up here. Spurs rank at 14th in opponent assists per game at 24.6. In terms of Garland, just going to look at his recent game logs. Going to look at his recent game logs, and we got Garland. The last few has gone 8-8, 5-2, 5-9. Garland is one of these guys. I talk about how I get Siakam wrong every time. Garland is one of these guys that I cannot seem to get right every single week or every single time I take him. It's tough to read. He's just a tough guy to read, mostly because of inconsistency. I'm neutral on Garland, but I like the other two for sure. DeMar DeRozan over 6.5 assists. DeRozan goes up against the Cavs. The Cavs rank at 12th in the NBA at 24.3 assists per game to their opponents. And DeMar DeRozan's last few games. So DeMar DeRozan was on a train where he was going for a ton of assists. He's kind of slowed down in that category. Once again, keep the questions coming. I see a question popping up in the chat about the college basketball game later, the national championship. If you have any questions about that game, feel free to ask me as well. We'll kind of do a hybrid here, talk about college basketball a little bit as well. DeMar DeRozan's last few games, he's gone over this 6.5 number in 4 out of his last 5. Decent matchup against Cleveland, not great. I'm neutral on this. I wouldn't be pushing to go over, but I don't hate it as well. Favorite pick for my 3 props probably would be Sean Holmes over 9.5 rebounds. McDaniels over 1.5 threes. Yeah, I think it hits. Like I said, somebody else had the question earlier in the chat about whether to do points or threes. I said I'd rather do points, but I do like threes as well. What about Siakam points over 23.5? Again, like I said, I can never get Siakam right, but theoretically, on paper, you would think that Siakam has a great matchup tonight. Thunder ranked 20. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Screwing up my matchups for a second. Go against the Wizards. Also a great matchup. Wizards rank at the bottom of the league in opponent points allowed per game at 30th in the NBA, 119.1 points per game. So you would think this could be a big Siakam night. I'm okay with that. From Andrew here. Justin, I know you're not a college basketball guy, but thoughts on college game after the craziness in the Zags game on Saturday? Yeah, so I don't do a lot of college basketball content. I did a lot of March Madness content, but I am a college basketball guy. I do like college basketball quite a lot. I will be tuned into the game later for sure, watching from start to finish. Look, I've been a fan of this Gonzaga team all year. I think that they probably are the best college basketball team I've watched in my lifetime, thinking back. Just the way, if you watch the other day, I think what was so amazing about that game is that UCLA played a perfect game. I do not think they could have played better. They went I saw a stat that they went 9 for 9 from 15 to 19 feet. Supposedly that, the long two obviously is not the best shot in basketball. It's probably the worst shot in basketball. And the fact that they went 9 for 9 for that range, it was just a perfect game for them. They played a perfect game. They still managed to lose to Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga takes it tonight. I think they cover the 4.5 point spread. I've seen a lot of people on Baylor, but I really do think Gonzaga finishes the job here. I think that's the most that they're going to get tested. I think we just saw that. But Baylor's a good team as well. They're really deep. They have a lot of guys as well. Should be really interesting to watch. I'm excited for this game for sure. Which is safer, Jeff Green over 9.5 points or Bullock over 9.5? Yeah, just spoke about Bullock. But looking at Jeff Green as well here. Knicks do have a great defense. They are a very good 3-point defense as well. I believe the Knicks are first in the NBA in opponent 3-point percentage. Jeff Green averaging 10 points per game this season, has been a solid role player for them, has gone for 21 in the last two, but guys were out. I would probably take Bullock over Green tonight. Westbrook over rebounds or over assists. Siakam over 23.5 or Gary Trent Jr. over 19.5. Okay, so Westbrook, the only problem here is that the line is 11.5 for both rebounds and assists. That's pretty steep. That being said, if I had to choose one, rebounds or assists, I would go with assists. Simple reasoning here is that the Raptors rank 29th in the NBA in opponent assists per game at 26.2. So you would think it's a better matchup for assists than rebounds for him. Siakam, 23.5 points. Or Gary Trent over 19.5. Tough call. I do like Trent a lot. Last few games, I believe he's gone for 24 and 31 points. Wizards rank at 21st in the NBA in opponent threes per game. So, for Gary Trent, a guy who's chucking up a bunch of threes per game, this definitely is a good matchup. Would I take him or Siakam? I think both against the Wizards are good options. That being said here, Gary Trent. Yeah, it's a tough call. I think it's a very tough call between him or Siakam. I would probably roll with Trent because just like I said, I get Siakam wrong all the time. I'd probably roll with Trent. But I think both could hit. Does Holmes' 10.5 rebounds still sound good? Yeah, and I think you get him for pretty nice value in some places as well. Any other questions we got for today? Just remember, if you're in this chat, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Really helps me out a lot. Thank you, everyone, for watching today once again. Theo Maledon, over 3.5 rebounds, still a good prop. Yes, actually, I do like it. I saw Maledon at 4.5 today, earlier in the day. I'm not sure if that's switched to 3.5 or if you're getting that at 3.5. Let me go check this now. But he was plus money to go over 4.5. That was something I was probably going to stay away from. But if he had dropped to 3.5, it is something that I would consider. Okay, he's still at 4.5 on FanDuel here. But that being said, if you could get him at 3.5, I mean, this is a guy who was, killing that prop. As we said last week, we were talking about Maledon over rebounds. He goes up against a Pistons team that ranks at 18th in the NBA in opponent rebounds per game at 44.3. So good matchup for Maledon as well. Over in the college basketball game tonight. I believe the over is at 160 or maybe it lowered a little bit, but it is some insane number. Yeah, over unders at 160. That's pretty insanely high. I think it probably does go over. Yeah, even though it is very high, I think it goes over. Bullock and Derek White, both over 2.5 threes. I'm good with Bullock over 2.5 threes. In terms of Derek White, let me just go check Derek White here. Last few games, Derek White has gone for 2-3, 7-2, 3-4-3. So he's hit it a decent amount. But in terms of his matchup here, that we're going to dig into a little bit more, the Cavaliers rank at 12th in the NBA in opponent threes per game. They rank at 7th in the NBA in opponent threes attempted per game. And then in terms of percentage, they rank at 27th in the NBA in terms of opponent three-point percentage. So, look, Derek White may not shoot a lot of threes, but he may make a lot of threes against the Cavs. I'm okay with that as well. What are my thoughts on Holmes' points? I'd rather stick to rebounds. I don't mind the points just because it is a good matchup for the Timberwolves, but I'd rather stick to points. I'd rather stick to rebounds, I should say, but I don't mind points. Like anyone from the Pistons OKC game with no Plumlee or Ellington, better matchup for OKC center. Yeah, that's Moses Brown. Moses Brown, the guy's just been on an absolute tear lately. Rebounds prop is at 11.5 for Moses Brown. Let's check what his last few games were. Moses Brown, the New York native. Last few games for Moses Brown. 14, 7, 12, 9, 23, 12, 18, 14 in terms of rebounds. This guy's kind of all over the map, though. Like, I don't know what to think about this guy. Definitely a nice pickup for OKC, though. They found something in him for sure. So do I like anyone without those guys? I don't like anyone in particular from this game, no. OG and a newbie over 18.5 points. I do like that against the Wizards, yes. Any other questions we got for today? Remember, if you're in here, like this video, subscribe to this channel. If you love the Masters, be sure to hang in here for our live Masters show at 6:30 p.m. That video is scheduled 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. That video is scheduled on the channel. So if you like the Masters, want to check that out, be sure to do it. Anything else we got for today before we head off? Anything else? Do I have any stats on college basketball? Love the stats you have on the NBA. Anything for the college basketball game, either way. So I'll actually pull that up right now. I could get that up for you right here. So if we're breaking down this college basketball game, you obviously have two offensively efficient powerhouses here. I mean, that's what's got them there. Let's just get this up. This is loading up here. All righty. So let's get this up. Want to get it fully up before I get into my detailed breakdown that I got. All right, so on a website that I follow, haslametrics.com, HASLA metrics.com. Great website, just breaking down analytical stuff between every team. They actually have Gonzaga ranked in first in offensive efficiency and first in defensive efficiency as well. So this Gonzaga team, they may let up 90 points to UCLA. That is not the norm. But Baylor themselves is a great offensive team. They're a little bit worse defensively. They rank second on this website in offensive efficiency and 15th in defensive efficiency. Some other stats that stand out here for both teams. So Gonzaga, obviously, this is a team that's going to, shoot a high percentage every game. This team is shooting 56.3% from the field effectively on the season on this website. So it takes out some blowout stats to this website. They rank first in near proximity percentage, which means shots around the rim. So it could be a big night and then if you're looking at Baylor's defense around the rim, they rank 163rd in near proximity percentage, field goal percentage against. So we got a question here. Drew Timme over 21.5 points. I think that could be a pretty decent look there. Timmy's obviously been dominating this tournament, and Baylor is not exactly great at defending around the rim. So I do like Timme over 21.5 points. But, those are some other stats we're going to get back to. Let's just look to see if anything else stands out here. I was going to possibly do an in-depth breakdown video. Didn't end up doing it. But good to dig into here. Yeah, Baylor ranks. So another thing is Baylor ranks first in all of college basketball in 3-point percentage at 41.6%. This is a team that's going to shoot the three a lot. Gonzaga, on the other hand, 16th in opponent 3-point percentage. This is a Gonzaga team that could really lock up. I do like Gonzaga tonight at minus 4.5. But those are some stats, just some quick stats for you here. Edwards over 23.5 points. I said I was good with that for sure, especially with all these guys out. I didn't do a huge breakdown on the props. I checked them out real quickly, but I do like Drew Timme over 21.5 points. But I didn't do a huge look into them, so I do not have any right now. Reggie Bullock over 9.5 points seems huge. Yeah, I'm good with it. Jazz and Spurs moneyline parlay, good with that as well. Anything else before we head off today? We got a few minutes left in this stream remaining. Anything else? Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out. Anything else we got today? Pick winners for the 7-game slate. All right, I'll go right down the line here. Let's get the full board up. So if I had to pick winners, we will go with the Spurs. We will go with the Pistons. As much as I hate to do that, we'll go with the Spurs. We'll go with the Pistons. We'll go with the Nets. We will go with the Timberwolves. Have a lot of guys out. I'll probably take Sacramento in that game. Utah, I know that's a lot of favorites here. Yeah, honestly, I think it's a chalky board. I like all the favorites tonight. I really do. The only game that I think the game that's trickiest to pick is probably Washington, Toronto, 4-point spread. Could go either way. Kings, Timberwolves isn't a great, it's a little bit tough too. But if I had to give you a parlay, I do like that Spurs Jazz parlay brought up by Daniel here, but not huge on usually picking NBA games. I usually, like the props a lot better because NBA games are very random and hard to pick. All right, that will close it out for tonight's live stream. Once again, thank you to everyone who watched the NBA Player Prop Show here Monday, April 5th. Great week of sports coming up. National Championship, NBA. We got the Masters on Thursday. Once again, if you like golf, if you like the Masters, be sure to tune into my video live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Other things, be sure to follow me on Twitter at @sports_Burd. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. And also be sure to check out Monkey Knife Fight. Promo code DUDE50. You get a 100% deposit match up to $50. Link in the description below. Goodbye, everyone, and good luck with your prop betting tonight.